असङ्गोऽहम् 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 पुनः पुनः सच्चिदानन्दरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः नित्यशुद्धविमुक्तोऽहम् निराकारोऽहमव्ययः भूमानन्दस्वरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः नित्योऽहम् निरवद्योऽहम् निराकारोऽहमच्युतः परमानन्दरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः शुद्धचैतन्यरूपोऽहम् आत्मा रामोऽहमेव च अखण्डानन्दरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः प्रत्यक्षचैतन्यरूपोऽहम् शान्तोऽहम् प्रकृतेः परः शाश्वतानन्दरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः तत्त्वातीतपरात्माहम् मध्यातीतः परशिवः मायातीतपरञ्ज्योतिः अहमेवाहमव्ययः नानारूपव्यतीतोऽहम् चिदाकारोऽहमच्युतः सुखरूपस्वरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः मायातत्कार्यदेहादि मम नास्त्येव सर्वदा स्वप्रकाशैकरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः गुणत्रयव्यतीतोऽहम् ब्रह्मादीनां च साक्ष्यहम् अनन्तानन्दरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः अन्तर्ज्योतिस्वरूपोऽहम् कूटस्थः सर्वभूस्म्यहम् सर्वसाक्षिस्वरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः द्वन्द्वादिसाक्षिरूपोऽहम् अचलोऽहं सनातनः सर्वसाक्षिस्वरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः प्रज्ञानघन एवाहम् विज्ञानघन एव च अकर्ताहम् अभोक्ताहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः निराधारस्वरूपोऽहम् सर्वाधारोऽहमेव च आप्तकामस्वरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः तापत्रयविनिर्मुक्तः देहत्रयविलक्षणः अवस्थात्रयसाक्ष्यस्मि अहमेवाहमव्ययः दृग्दृश्यौ द्वौ पदार्थौ स्तः परस्परविलक्षणौ दृग्ब्रह्मदृश्यं मायेति सर्ववेदान्तडिण्डिमः अहं साक्षीति यो विद्यात् विविच्यैवं पुनः पुनः स एव मुक्तः स विद्वान् इति वेदान्तडिण्डिमः घटकुड्यादिकं सर्वं मृत्तिकामात्रमेव च तद्वद्ब्रह्म जगत्सर्वम् इति वेदान्तडिण्डिमः ब्रह्म सत्यं जगन्मिथ्या जीवो ब्रह्मैव नापरः अनेन वेद्यं सच्छास्त्रम् इति वेदान्तडिण्डिमः अन्तर्ज्योति बहिर्ज्योतिः प्रत्यग्ज्योतिः परात्परः ज्योतिज्योति स्वयं ज्योतिः आत्मज्योतिशिवोऽस्म्यहम् ज्योतिज्योति स्वयं ज्योतिः आत्मज्योतिशिवोऽस्म्यहम्
Hari Om. Good evening. A very warm welcome to all of you. Please come. Let's invoke the power of praying together. asato ma sadgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityorma amritam gamaya. Sahana vavatu sahano bhunaktu sahaviryam karavavahai tejasvina vadhitamastu ma vedvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Shri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha. O Lord the Almighty, the Omniscient, the Omnipotent, the Omnipresent, who also has the divine name as Viniyita Sakhshee, to such a Supreme Lord, together with Shraddha, Bhakti and Prapatti, we offer our humble-most salutations. To seek His grace, His love, His benevolence, His affection, His kindness, His sympathy, His forgiveness, His strength. O Lord, bless us with the divine qualities such as Shraddha, Bhakti, Jnana, Vairagya, Prapatti. This is only and only to enhance and give us the power for self-realization. We beseech in you again and again. You know what best suits us. Pave way and give us that clarity of understanding our true self. Om Tat Sat. Our humble salutations to the Guru Parampara. Om Tat Sat. Today, by the grace of the Almighty and the blessings of the Guru Parampara, we are on our Divine Discourse number 458 and the Aparoksha Anubhuthi series 45. On the 6th of January 2026, Swasti Shri Vishwavasunama Samvatsara Dakshinayana Hemantarutu Pushyamasa Krishna Paksha Bhaumavasare Tritiyatito Ashlesha Nakshatra Pritinama Yogi Bhadrakarane. On this auspicious day of Tuesday and the auspicious time of the evening, together we reaffirm our solemn pledge. Naham karta hari karta hari preranaya hari prityartham. The ordainer, sustainer, doer of every thought, action which happens through this body and mind is completely controlled by Lord Hari. I tell my mind again and again to be established in that fact. And look at my daily life. Whenever any action or any word is spoken, that this is all happening under the live streaming of Lord Narayana. May this thought ever be in me during the waking state. And this can happen only with your grace and mercy, O Lord. Our salutations to the Guru Parampara once again. Om Tat Sat. Good evening, everybody. Yeah, so a bit of an alertness in the beginning. We have some technical issues. We are not able to find out what the reason is behind it. At the foremost, it looks like, yes, there is something to do with the internet Wi-Fi providers. But at the same time, we also are envisaging some problem with these platforms. Now for this relay, we have one known as OBS platform, and that further relates to the YouTube that way. So this is just a possibility which we are thinking, because everybody says we are okay. So we have to see a 360 dimension. So anyway, that exercise is on. Whatever little changes we had to do, we have done that. And today will be again a test discourse. Now, if by chance the line drops or the session stops, so for one more time we'll re-log in and we'll see if that continues for a longer time. But what we are noticing, as we had yesterday a break twice, when we start again it runs for about 6 to 10 minutes and then again it breaks down. So if we will only try once, and if it breaks, unless told otherwise, then you can just go into a meditative mode. Since you are in that sattvic frame of mind, be in that state of mind. Do your sadhana, japa, dhyana, contemplation of all the good thoughts, and you can conclude your session that way. Okay. So, having said that, now we move on to our Aparoksha Anubhuthi 114. We have done 113 last time. Now, what are these practices and where are we at this point? Just an understanding, if we have to get a recap of what we have studied. 8 practices as per the Ashtanga Yoga, Patanjali Yoga Sutra. Okay, 8 practices. And Bhagavan Shankaracharya comes out with 15 practices. Here, not that he has made any modification to those 8 practices of Ashtanga Yoga, that he has removed some from there. No, he has retained all the 8. He has added 7 more to this number. Okay, so Yama Niyama, Ashtanga Yoga. Then the third one comes Asana. Okay, so here in between this Asana, which is the third one, he has added 4 more. What are those 4 now? After Yama and Niyama, control of the senses, control of the mind, he has put in Tyaga. Now, try to visualize, contemplate, what is the reason for this kind of a change? One is the yogic approach, and the other one is a jnani's approach. What is the yogic approach? Still your mind. Just still your mind. Like say there is a pond. There is something at the bottom of the pond. Now you want to see what is there at the bottom of the pond. For that, what you have to do? You have to ensure that the water is calm, crystal clear, meaning neat and clean and calm. So then you will be able to see whatever is there at the bottom of the mind. That appears. But if the water is dirty and if the water is shaky, it has waves on the top, you won't be able to see anything. So this reality which is within us, what is that reality? This awareness which is making you do everything possible, right from talking, listening, tasting, moving, breathing, eating, whatever action you name is happening because of that awareness. Just like electricity in your house, everything runs on the electricity. Is there anything which does not run on electricity? So taking that concept, why you stabilize your mind, once that clarity sets in, then it appears. Now Bhagavan Shankaracharya says this may not be possible for everybody. Now in fact, Madhusudan Saraswati in the 15th century, another great spiritual stalwart like Bhagavan Shankaracharya. After Bhagavan Shankaracharya, he was the one who also took sannyas at the age of 10, and he did great works on the spiritual path. Now he says there are 2 types of sadhaks. He didn't mean that there is one higher level sadhak and lower level sadhak. No, there are 2 categories. One category is where they still their mind, that is the yogic power. You still your mind and you realize that Brahman in you. Now for that also you need knowledge. You just by stilling the mind you will not get to know Brahman. You will have to know what is the salient features of Brahman. And the second category says, one by just knowing what is Brahman, what is false, what is truth, mithya and satya. If you understand that, that is good enough, he said. You don't have to be a yogi. So which means what? If we are on the path of jnana, we don't need to do meditation. You can do. If you don't do, he says, even without attaining samadhi, one can reach that Aparoksha Anubhuti. I'll tell you how. Let us move a little ahead and then I'll tell you. What is that Aparoksha Anubhuti? See, this has to be said, told in phases. Then that As yesterday we were talking, I want that curiosity. Because that is a proven fact. Without that curiosity in you, you will not be able to get it. So as we heard last time, Paul D. MacLean, he said, brain theory, it is revealing that you are God. Now, who is telling this? A scientist is telling this. And he says an interest in the brain requires no justification other than a curiosity to know. Very simple. What is curiosity according to us over here? You can say it is mumukshutva. We are yearning to understand God. So what are the simple questions? He himself says, why are we here? What are we doing here? And from here, where are we going? So that way. And then he explains, as we saw in our previous discourse, how from that the limbic brain, first is the reptilian limbic brain, instinctive, survival instincts, reproduction, that's all it wants. Sleep, feeding, reproducing, that's all. That is the reptilian. Then he comes to the emotional part, where then there is a development in the memory, and that is the limbic system. The thoughts, feelings, all these come in. But he says now the generation after that, recent generations are focusing more on the neocortex. It was not there earlier. So now this neocortex, which has got that planning, language, reasoning, all this, he says, now these are the three kinds of levels in your brain. So as the human brain is developing, he's saying it's getting more and more acclimatized and suitable for understanding, for this jnana what we are talking. So coming back to what Bhagavan Shankaracharya was saying is, you can attain moksha, liberation, salvation without going to the stage of samadhi. See, this is such a great confidence giver to us. I sit for meditation and my mind goes somewhere. Don't bother about that. If you can do meditation, well and good. If you cannot do meditation, be firm in that thought that Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya Jivo Brahmaivana Paraha. This one thought is enough for you to take to the level of salvation. What? Everything you see around is mithya. Mithya means it is there now, it was not there earlier, and it is not going to be there thereafter. Whatever. Idam means this. Whatever you can show as this is mithya only. So, idam na chaitanyam, Shankaracharya says, wherever you can show something as this, it is not Chaitanya. So then how do you get established in Chaitanya? Just keep saying, not this, not this. Eventually you will land in Chaitanya only. Because you have nullified the entire universe, what is there in front of you. Desha, Kala, Vastu, everything you have nullified. Simple techniques, but you need practice. And what the scientists say, the more and more you practice, the neural pathways in your brain, they change. And what is the big deal of understanding this? We knew that somebody was a very good person. Later on, somebody came and told us, good meaning we had understood that person is so good that we had placed him on the highest pedestal in terms of goodness. But then somebody came and said, see this fellow, he behaves like this, but he is something else. And he or she explained what all has happened between them. Now you register that fact. And then again somebody else comes and tells you, hey, I had this kind of an experience with this person. Then you hear it from another person. Now who are these different people? These are the Upanishads, different Upanishads, just like different people over here. You are hearing it from different Upanishads. That's all. What are you hearing about that person? What are they all saying? The same thing. Then did you not change your mind? A simple question. Ask yourself, I thought this person was so and so. Then you, as it went into your mind, very easily, seamlessly, you are able to change. Is it not so? In the same way, here, different people means different Upanishads. Talking about the same person meaning the same Atman Paramatman. About the same person. Telling you what? That itself is the supreme one reality. Other than that, everything is false. Everything is false meaning it is that particular reality is projecting. We have learned so much about it. It is projecting just like how your mind projected a dream. What better foundation you need to understand this? Are we not projecting a dream in our sleep? We create a world, we create places, we create people, we create objects, and we run a beautiful drama over there. So many things happening. So when your mind can do this, so can't that consciousness, does it mean that in your dream there was no consciousness? There was consciousness. But when you get up, you have the understanding that I created this dream from my mind. And why is that a waking state is more real to you than a dream? See, our understanding, a common person understanding, is that we have a body, we have a mind, and okay, yes, I have life within this body and mind. We just call it as life, that awareness, not that consciousness and things like that. So, why is it that the waking state is appearing so real to you? It is because in the dream, there is only mind. But in the waking state, what do you have? Along with the mind, you have your senses, which is not there in the dream. And along with the senses, you have the body, which is not there in the dream again. You have a different body over there. You may be a different person over there. So, with these two additional features, imagine you're looking at a movie. How would it be if they show you some black and white, not so clear? Okay, a movie is being shown. Black and white, no sound, no color. Now imagine that along slowly, they start improving the quality of the picture. From black and white, it's becoming clearer. And then there is some color added to it. And then comes a sound. You must have seen many a times, there are songs. You switch off the music and the volume, meaning the sound. You'll feel it's something okay. But when it comes with that sound and that volume, you enjoy it much better. So in the same way here, along with the mind, you have the body and you have the senses. And then one most important aspect which comes during the waking state is the aham bhava, the I-ness, me, mine, I. And that is what which binds you to samsara. Simple mathematics. In a dream, you may do the most auspicious thing, but you will not get an iota of punya. And in the dream, you may do the most treacherous, immoral thing. You will not get an iota of papa. Why? Aham bhava is not there. So, these are the fundamental aspects which we need to understand. So, now here, why he has added these steps? Reason is that unless and until I bring in some additional qualifications which may not be required by a yogi, Raja Yogi. Raja Yogi in the sense the Patanjali Yogi. He may not require, but for a Jnani what is important is he adds the third one after Yama Niyama, he adds Tyaga. Tyaga is giving up. Unless and until you give up, you will not be able to detach yourself. From what? From this asatya or this mithya. Then he says, with that tyaga, now for higher discipline, you need mauna. And then he says, with this kind of a renunciation, tyaga, renunciation of thoughts, basically of desires, and in that state of silence, you establish yourself in desha. Desha means not going anywhere. Desha is finding a peaceful place wherever you are. In your own comfortable home, find a peaceful place. Don't sit in the living room to meditate. Sit in a comfortable place, either in your puja room. Sometimes, many houses have the puja room in the living room because they have decorated it so well. So most of the puja rooms are in the living room where it is visible to everybody. But no, go to a secluded place. A corner in your bedroom is the best place where nobody enters your bedroom. So that is the place where you have found a fine desha. Now what are you going to do here? In this state of tyaga, where you are not allowing those desires to spike up in your body, and in that state of mauna, where your external actions are all curtailed, you are sitting in a comfortable place. That is the fifth one. Yama, niyama, tyaga, mauna, desha. Then comes the sixth one, kala. This is also not there in the Ashtanga Yoga. Kala. What is kala? Time. Don't sit for meditation during busy hours. Like say, look at your home. At a particular time in the morning, you will see the newspaper fellow coming in, the milk fellow coming in, the maids coming in, the cook coming in, and vendors coming in, dhobis, so and so. All these people are coming in. Find a suitable time. For what? That thought, that knowledge of Brahman, I am now rewiring my brain. That's all. Here with knowledge you are rewiring your brain. There the yogi, Patanjali yogi, what is he doing? He is just calming the mind. Big difference. We are going by knowledge. He is going by calming the mind. So in that state of kala, then comes asana. Asana means a posture. Now asana is the third step according to Patanjali Yoga. Yama, niyama, asana. So here it is the seventh one. So which was the 112th verse. And after that we did during the last time discourse, we did the 113th verse, which is the 8th practice, Siddha. What is this Siddha? Siddha is where you are established. You are established in that thought of Brahman. That knowledge, what I understand, yes, what is that which is encompassing the entire universe? Go by science, go by physics, astrophysics, whatever you name it, everything points out that there is one existence. And that existence is complemented by consciousness. That is that intelligence, awareness. And with this, E equals mc square, what Einstein first found out. And these people, for many leads, they were only studying the Upanishads. Anywhere they are getting stuck, or for getting a better direction in their research, they all say that we were reading the Upanishads. Yes, it had to be decoded. We were not able to understand, but we were getting some sort of lead to move in a particular direction. So after that Siddha, then comes, today we are going to study Moola Bandha. What is this Moola Bandha? Again, this Moola Bandha is not there in Siddha, and Moola Bandha are not there in Ashtanga. Now, this is Moola Bandha, what we will study today. Come. We go to the verse 114. Shri Harim Paramanandam Upadeshtaramishwaram Vyapakam Sarvalokanam Karanam Tam Namamyaham. We offer our humble salutations to Lord Hari. Now we move on. Yanmulam sarvabhutanam Yanmulam chittabandhanam Moolabandha sada sevyo Yogo so raja yoginam. Now this says that supreme, which is the root of all existence, upon which the mind is to stay in contemplation, is termed as, within inverted comma, sucking in the root. And this is practiced by Raja Yogins. Okay. Now, what is the deeper meaning of this? Let's understand. So, see, if you see in each and every instruction what is giving us as a technique, he finally goes back and says, you have to be established in that one supreme truth. Thank God there is only one supreme truth. Imagine if there were about 100 supreme truths. I don't think we would have been able to do anything about it. But there is only one supreme truth. That is the biggest advantage what we have in this spiritual study. Know about that one thing. If you don't want to know about mithya, which is an illusion, that is also fine. Why should we study about Maya, which is not there? We can only focus our attention on this supreme truth, right? So, every aspect which is being told about that supreme reality. Now, what does it mean over here? Bandha. Bandha has got several, you can say, two main meanings we can talk about. Moola bandha. Moola means root. That is the root cause. Why all this happened? This fellow is the root cause for all this. Without him, this wouldn't have happened. All this mess which has happened, he is the root cause. So this bandha, moola, root bandha. What is this root bandha? So he says, see, look, understand. Like as per now, if you go by the Raja Yoga, you have the Uddiyana Bandh, Jalandhara Bandh, and then you have the Kanta Bandh. Now all these three are known as Moola Bandh. Now in fact, as per Hatha Yoga, I always in our Sukshma Yoga classes I mention, this is one of the master strokes of Hatha Yoga, where you are controlling the entire breath and going to the next level. When you control the breath, what happens? Mind completely halts. If you are able to sit in that position for those many seconds, your mind is completely still. No other thought comes. So, under Hatha Yoga, this Moola Bandha is a master stroke. But now, we are not going to do Bandha in terms of breath control. What we are talking about is, what is the meaning of this Bandha? So, apart from the locks as told by Hatha Yoga, here Bhagavan Shankaracharya, he tries to say, Moola Sarva Bhutanam. Yanmoolam Sarva Bhutanam. He says, what is the root cause of all the entities in this entire universe? That root cause. Let's go from physics. Atoms. And then if from atoms came everything. So looking into that atoms, now what is there in that atom? So as again the recent scientists who have won Nobel Prizes, what do they say? They say that there is God particle in it. They were not able to understand, they just said damn God particle. They were not able to understand. There is some power in that which is nothing but existence and consciousness. So the root cause for everything in this entire universe is that one supreme reality. Just like what is the root cause of all the golden ornaments? Gold. What is the root cause of all the waves in an ocean? Water. What is the root cause of all the pots you see? Clay. What is the root cause of all the wooden furniture? Wood. So in this way, understand that everything, whatever you are seeing, taking the help of science, what are you understanding? That these atoms are packed in different ways, that's all. Be it an animal, be it an insect, be it a tree, be it a worm, be it a human, the same set of atoms are layered in different ways. And they appear to you with a form, with a color, with a name, and with a function. As simple as that. When you look at something, go to the root cause. Those 5 elements, Panchabhuta and atoms. A bag of Panchabhuta and atoms, that's all. See, if we have about say 60, 80 trillion cells in our body, now they say double that we have bacteria in us. But do we know that we are carrying so much bacteria? Good bacteria, bad bacteria? No, we don't know. So in the same way, if you know about it, then you are aware. Yes, this is how my body is composed of. But without that awareness, what do you understand over here? How do I see? Know for a fact. Get into the depth and see that you are nothing but those atoms at the root level. Everything is developed over that atom. And what is for, say if there is an ant next to you, that also has got atoms. If there is an elephant next to it, that also has got atoms. If there is a fish, if there is a bird, if there is a tiger, if there is a worm, everything in this universe has got atoms. Meaning what? Go to the root and understand that it is that one isness, one existence, that isness, existence, and where it has got that consciousness. Now that how that consciousness comes, we'll understand that. A stone does not have consciousness because it does not have a mind. And this reflected consciousness comes only when there is a mind. So that is the difference between the living and the non-living. We went into a little more detail. So understanding that Moola Bandha, now get established. Whatever you are seeing at the root cause is nothing but that and that alone. Let's say there is a movie which is being shot. Okay. Now it's in a particular studio. And then you have the banner. Say some banner. XYZ banner. Movie banner. Now, once you enter the studio, whomever you see, whatever you see is all related to that movie, isn't it? It could be the director, or it could be the sweeper, it could be the light boys, it could be the hero, it could be the heroine, the villain. Everybody is nothing but under that banner, so-called movie banner, for the movie which they are making. They all appear differently, they all function differently, they all say differently. But What are they all doing under that one banner? So keeping such concepts in mind, you have to look at the world. So this bandha, know the root of everything, is the first way of looking at this moola bandha. Moola means the original root. What is that? Root cause. Okay. The second one is bandha. That bandha means ignorance. Ignorance of the another meaning for bandha. First one is chitta bandhanam. You fix your mind on something. Yanmoolam sarva bhutanam yanmoolam chitta bandhanam. Knowing that everything is this and this alone, that chit, your mind, bandhanam, make it established in that. Put it over there. Second one, here he refers to the bondage. What is that bandha which has brought us into this samsara? That bandha. That bondage. So, you know that ignorance is the second bandha, which is the root cause of all our problems. Not knowing my true self. I am suffering today. Knowing that I am limited. Knowing that I am this jiva, I am suffering. But once you know that you are that infinite existence consciousness, you are liberated at that moment itself. When does liberation or moksha happen to a wave? When it knows that it is water and water alone, not this wave. The moment it understands itself to be water, it's realized. It may appear as a wave again, but at the back of its mind, it knows that it is water and water alone. That's all. And I'll tell you, my dear sadhaks, this is not something which one need to be skeptical or even doubtful about. Just keep repeating to your mind. Again and again ask questions to yourself. Right from the time you have got up, what is that which you are doing? Everything is ordained by some supernatural force. Just start observing that. Stop all the nonsense, stupid thoughts. And we have learnt by this time that nothing happens by the way which we are wanting it to happen. Thoughts come, it puts you on a particular track, and there you may see that you get better in life or you get worse in life. You get happy in life or you get sad in life. You lose money or you gain money. You lose a relationship or you strengthen a relationship. Have you not seen this? So when you know that you are not the ordainer of your thoughts, why are we doing that same foolish thing again and again? So just be a witness. Now we know that one reality has been portraying in different forms. Now I thought I was this form. I first come out of that form. No, I understand. I am not what this foolish fellow thinking that I am this person. No, you come out. Now what happens? You have the reality and you have all these forms. Just look at both as a witness. Go on doing this. And at one point I'll tell you, when it comes to yourself, you will start doubting yourself. Initially we will be doubting about the reality. What are they talking about? But a stage will come when you doubt your own self. You say, yes, this is mithya. It was not there earlier. It has come at some point of time and it is going to go away at another point of time. Mithya, you are not this. Because your brain has been wired. Simple. By science. So, ignorance of that mind is vikshepa shakti, avarana shakti, bandha. These two things which we have learnt. What is that vikshepa and avarana? Avarana is it has covered. So, when there is something, now you cover it up. Can you see that thing? No, you cannot see it because you've covered it. And the second exalted part is that which is covered is being projected as something else. So now my Paramatma Bhava in me is covered with Ajnana Maya Shakti. And what I am now, my Paramatma Tattva is covered and it is projecting myself as a Jiva. See, these two things Maya has done to us. And what Bhagavan Shankaracharya says, 3 things if you get in your life, consider you are the most luckiest person. 1 in a million. What are those 3 things? Manushyattvam. Being born as a human being. That is the first thing. Whether you are a male or a female, it doesn't matter. You are born as a human being. Because only human beings have got the intellect to understand this reality. Only the cell phone has got the power to receive signals from the mobile data or from Wi-Fi. A radio cannot do that. An electric stove cannot do that. A refrigerator cannot do that. An iron box cannot do that. So, Manushyattvam. Then Mumukshutvam. Mumukshutvam is somewhere that thought comes in your mind. I have seen life. Enough. I've seen from all corners. I know I have duties in life. I'll do my duties. But with a different frame of mind. What is that? Mokshutam. I want to see that there is something higher. Just now what we understood, that curiosity. And the third one is what Bhagavan Shankaracharya says, Mahapurushasya Samashraya. Mahapurushasya means Samashraya, the coming of Mahapurusha, a guru who comes and tells you, gives you all this knowledge. Now you may have human birth, you don't have curiosity, you're just enjoying your life. The moment you see that there is a weekend, 2 days combined with an holiday, you'll see whether I should take this side or that side. I take a holiday and make it, instead of 3, I make it 4. And if I can add 1 more, 5. And then see where I can go to enjoy myself. Isn't it? That's all what we have done in our life. So there somewhere a thought comes, enough of this. It's not taking us anywhere. And then if you want to know something, then where do you know this? You cannot open a newspaper and read these aspects, this subtle aspect of this creation. So then there is somewhere you will see, once your mind is ready, then you will see that there is a guru which comes across. A guru is nothing but who? A torch bearer who holds a torch. You want to see and he shows you light, that's all. If these 3 things are there, consider yourself to be the most luckiest person. So now here this Avarana and Vikshepa Shakti are both, they have completely kept me away from the truth. So light. The Guru flashes the light and he says, look, here are your things which you are searching. You are searching in darkness. Now see, very clear, you can see it. And the moment you see that, you are established. It is actually, you are not there, if you see in the true sense, that God himself has become a jiva and he has covered himself with this ajnana, ignorance, bandha, with avarana and vikshepa, and Maya is his own power again. And when he wants to get himself released from this particular jiva, he himself brings a guru, and he himself gets again ignited with this knowledge, and he gets merged back into his true self. That is the ultimate understanding of this. So in this way now, what happens here is, you are primarily in that state of bandha, established in that reality, and you're moving forward on sada sevaya, always established. Moola bandha sada sevyaya yogosau raja yoginam. Yogosau means it is the most preferred or suggested practice. For whom? Raja yoginam. So here, Raja Yogi means normally we have used for the Ashtanga yogis, but here he says amongst the yogis who are pursuing jnana, those kings among the yogi, that way, that Raja Yogi, not the Patanjali meaning over here says, the king among the yogis, by which he means the jnanis. These are jnanis, are the Raja Yogi. Such Raja Yogis, they moola bandha sada sevaya. Not that they sit in that pose of locking your chin, your navel and your anal. That is done by the Hatha Yoga. No, here is established in that knowledge. He has removed that ignorance. One way, and the other way what he has done is he is constantly sitting in that everything is nothing and nothing but that supreme reality. How it is exhibiting? In terms of consciousness and existence. So this way he talks about this verse 114. Okay. Now we go to 115. Anganam samatam vidyat same brahmani liyate no chainaiva samanatvam rujutvam shushka vrukshavat. Merging into the homogeneous mass of pure consciousness is known as the holding steady. Now here he does not bring another technique. He is just explaining the Moola Bandha only in an exalted manner. So, holding steady of the body, merely straightening the body and holding it steady as a dried up tree is not that true poise of the body. Poise of the body means samanatvam. No, that is not what we are talking about. Just sitting like a tree. A little bit of pun is intended over here. He says, no. People may be sitting like a tree. Very good. Nice yogic posture. But what is the point? Mind has gone somewhere. And you tell them something, immediately they'll bash at you. Angry mind. So, it is not about that. It is about being established, samanatvam, that evenness. Looking at that evenness to the very minute level. So this is the ninth practice, which is actually continuing on the point of this Moola Bandha. Okay, now basically how to hold your body over here. Anganam samatam vidyat same brahmani liyate no chainaiva samanatvam rujutvam shushka vrukshavat. Rujutvam means that straightness. You may be sitting straight, holding the body tight, but where is your mind? So how you hold the body, how you condition your body, all that has an effect on your breathing, no doubt. And in fact, when you talk of the physical posture, that has a direct relationship to your mind. See, here we are also using a mind. We are not calming our mind or subduing our mind, but we are filling it with knowledge. If you slightly slouch, then your thought process changes. And now what are you thinking? You're thinking that this particular awareness, what you're experiencing, is nothing but a direct relationship with that one homogeneous supreme reality, that Parabrahman. Now for that kind of a thought, if you bend yourself and you sit down, you will not get that, because your body is itself not made that. You have to straighten up your body, hold the spine erect, head, neck and spine in a straight line. The example is what if you want to water the plants. You have got a huge park. Okay, now you have got little time. You want to water all the plants. Imagine that the pipe is bent here and there. What will happen? You will get a small streak of water. But if you straighten the pipe, then you will get that pressure and force. You will be able to do your job well. In the same way, what Bhagavan Shankaracharya is telling us over here is, he says, head, neck and spine in a straight line, and think about that Lord. All the aspects in different ways what we are talking about, start thinking about that and move forward on this path. So other different ways of understanding this is Anganam Samatam Vidyat. Know that sameness, that equality in everybody. Don't differentiate. This is another deeper meaning of this Anganam Samatvam, Samatam Vidyat. Now here, there's a beautiful story to how do you see that Samanat, meaning that equalness, evenness in everything. Once Sukadeva Muni, son of Bhagavan Vyasa, Veda Vyasa, he's an enlightened Muni. He was going from one place to another. And there, as he was moving, on the left hand side, there was a pond. And in that pond, there were some celestial nymphs, apsaras whom we call, they were bathing in that pond. And surprisingly, you know what happened? As they were bathing, now Sukadeva Muni is crossing the pond. And these apsaras who were bathing without any clothes, they did not bother to cover themselves. Even though they saw that he is able to see them very clearly, they're just next to the road. He could see them very clearly, but they did not cover their clothes. And what they noticed was, this Sukadeva Muni's father, who was Vedavyasji, he was a little behind, about say being an elderly person, maybe his stamina was not to that extent of this young boy, this son Sukadeva Muni. He was a little back, about 200 steps behind him. So suddenly they saw him. By that time Sukadeva Muni had crossed and gone. And no sooner they saw Vedavyasji, they immediately covered their bodies. Now Vedavyasji was able to see this. It was very clear. Not very far away, 200 steps behind. He's seeing that the sun is going and these celestial nymphs, apsaras, are nicely bathing. But as he moved ahead and as Vedavyasji came closer, they immediately started covering themselves. He got a little puzzled, and then he asked them, "Why did you not feel shy before my son?" But no sooner he moved, what made you feel shy before me? Then they replied, they are also celestial apsaras. They are not ordinary women of this world. So then they said, your son sees no difference between a man and woman. To him, everything is with that still subtle sense of oneness. That's why we did not do anything. We know. But as far as you are concerned, we know that you have a subtle sense of division in your mind. There is in your mind. We know that. And that's why we covered ourselves. So this is another way. Anganam samatam vidyat. Knowing that everything is that samatva bhava. And in this way, now, what Bhagavan Shankaracharya is trying to tell us is that outer restraint is just not enough. But you have to start somewhere, And the first thing what we can start is where our senses are drawing us. I need to see this, I need to eat this, I need to talk to this person, I need to, several things which are related to the senses. Now that outer restraint is just not going to be enough. That inner realization is that true protection for you. That craving does not die. It is going to be there. But you start seeing the self in all. So, this particular shloka is saying just by sitting tight and straight, you are not going to get anything. Bring that anganam samatam, bring that kind of samatam, sameness, oneness, samatva buddhi in you. This is one of the techniques. So all put together, body doesn't need only vitamin A. It needs vitamin A, B, C, D, E, several vitamins, minerals. So just like that, these are all different things. Wherever possible, one needs to enhance our strength by cultivating them. Like, for example, you see, now, where did this, the 5 Panchabhutas, all across us, Tasmad va etas sadmad atmanah akasha sambhutah akashat vayuhu vayoragnihi agnerapah. Now from where? That one supreme reality, Atman, that very Brahman which we call, that absolute, from there first came was space. And from space what came? Vayu. And from Vayu, Agni, fire. And from Agni came what? Water. Can you think how water can come out of Agni and how Agni can come out of air? See? That is the marvelous strength of this creation. So all these elements what you are seeing at the core level are nothing but that one Atman, Paramatman, Parabrahman. So take this knowledge and put yourself deep into it. Otherwise you will not be able to establish. These are things which you need for your betterment. Once there was Swami Vivekananda. This happened in Chennai. This was in the court of a king during those days. And that king had invited Swami Vivekananda. And king, court, Rajya Sabha. So there was a Devdasi, a singer, singing as well as dancing. So now she was called in. Swami Vivekananda, no sooner the Devdasi came and he came to know that there was going to be a classical dance which is going to be performed by the Devdasi. That was not the only thing, there were several other things. So he was attending to other programs, but when the Devdasi came, he got up and he went away. He said, I am a monk, I cannot attend such program. And he was moving out of the court hall. And as we all know that these court halls are huge. At least you have to travel 150 meters to get out of the court hall. Some are even more. He was moving out. And that lady, the Devadasi, she started singing a song which was about the oneness of this entire Vishwa. It was nothing but that Samadrishti. All those, he was able to hear. When those words touched his ears, immediately he got a feeling. What am I looking at? Why am I not seeing oneness over here? And he returns. And he says, I'm sorry. He says, I'm sorry to that Devadasi. Why am I seeing your outer self over here? That you as a Devadasi, a title, your character, your actions. Why am I looking at all that? Why am I not able to see that Atman in you? And if I have that power to see that Atman in you, I should not have seen this you as a Devadasi at all. He asks her apologies. He sits there and with his closed eyes he listens to that song with tears flowing down his cheeks. So this is that samadrishti, that oneness. It may happen, you may be a jnani, but still here and there, Maya, it takes you out of the right thing which you need to be in. And that's when God's grace is there, you immediately get it back. So this is what we have to understand over here. Another story is it happened in Dakshineshwar, Kali temple. Now Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa is sitting there. He had his nephew, Hridaya. His name is Hridaya. And everybody was telling, Arey, your uncle is an enlightened person. And you get some instruction from him. What are you doing every time over there? Doing all these errands, small jobs around him. Arey, you should talk to him. Get that knowledge. So this fellow said, Arey, whoever comes to me is telling me the same thing. And one day he was fed up. He goes to his uncle and he tells him, I want to get enlightenment. Tell me what I should do. He's adamant. But now Sri Ramakrishna knows that he is not ready. And then he tells him, look, I understand your plight. Again and again you come and ask me the same thing. And I know that you're not right, when you're not ready. But anyway, now he tells him, okay, there was a gutter there, slightly away from the temple. He says, you have seen that gutter? Yes. And whenever I cross that gutter, Hridaya was saying, I close my nose because it stinks. See, during rainy season, yes, there is free flow of water, it doesn't stink. But in summer it stinks because there is no flow of water. Everybody is putting dirt over there. So he says, now on this side, do you see, what do you see? He says, I'm seeing Ganga, free flowing Ganga. Now he tells him, when you are able to see that Ganga and this gutter water, both are same, then you say, you come to me. I will tell you how to get enlightenment. So that is the level of your samatma. Now what are you seeing over here? We are seeing gutter water, we are seeing Ganga water. But now behind that water is nothing but that existence. Go to the level of the atom. Atom in both Ganga and the gutter water is the same. So this is what they are trying to say. You can see the most diverse quality in something, but if you have the knowledge of seeing that oneness, that one existence consciousness, then although they may appear in high contrast to you, but you will be established in that oneness. So be in that oneness, anganam samatam vidyat. This is what Bhagavan Shankaracharya is trying to tell us over here. So, shall we attempt one more? Okay, 116, let's see. Drashta darshana drashta drashyanam Viramo yatra, sorry, that is not the one, that is 117. Drishtim jnanamayim krutva pashyed brahmamayam jagat sadrishtihi paramodhara nanasagravalokini. Now, raising the ordinary gross vision into the subtle vision of knowledge, one should learn to see the world as pure consciousness, meaning that Brahman. This is the noblest of visions and not that which is turned towards the tip of one's own nose. Meaning what here? Normally what you sit for meditation. Nasa gravalokini. Nasa gravalokini means look at the tip of your nose. You will get a headache if you do that. With your squint eyes, if you are going to look at the tip of your nose, you will soon get a headache. It says that is not what is meant over here. What is meant over here is your drishti, your vision. So make that vision of your sole purpose of whatever vision you have is that everything is pervaded by, encompassed by that one universal supreme reality. Paramo drishtihi. Paramo drishtihi. That should be your sole drishti and not staring at the tip of your nose. Okay, so we'll take this in much more detail in the next session. So I think these are enough of good tips which we have got, how we should cultivate our thought process. See, at the level of dealing with a person, if some person is crooked, at the level of transaction, you have to take your precaution and deal accordingly. But back of your mind, what needs to be done is not to take that to your heart and get disturbed by that. You only and only look at, there is no difference in what is there at the core of my creation and at the core of his creation. That's all. Okay. And in fact today, I'll end with one more story. What is this story about Shishupala? We were not able to do this. Let's end with this. Because here again, this is something which actually spikes that devotion in us. Now here, you all must have heard about Jaya and Vijaya, who were basically the gatekeepers to Vaikuntha. And once it so happened that these 4 Sanat Kumaras, the 4 children of Brahma, now they come to Vaikuntha and they ask for entry. Jaya and Vijaya say, sorry, we have got strict instructions that we cannot allow you at this point, and they hold them. Now these 4 Brahmagnanis, now what they do is they don't take it in the right stride, and they give a curse to Jaya and Vijaya. Now no sooner they got this curse, these 2 ran to Bhagavan Vishnu and said, my God, what is this? What have we done wrong? He says, say, look, whatever it is, they are Brahma Putras and whatever has happened, fine. But now there is 2 things which can happen, the outcome of this curse. One, you can be my bhaktas and be away from Vaikuntha, because they say you will have to go away from here, and we want to be in the Sanidhi of Lord, but no chance. That curse. 7 janma as a devotee, that is one option. Second option is you are, for 3 lives, you become my Vairi. Vairi in the sense where you are a Nastika. You hate me. You do all the wrong things. So what do you want? 3 lives of that or 7 lives as a devotee? They say, oh Lord, we cannot stay for a longer time without you. We don't mind being a Rakshasa, but we want to come back to you fast. And so these are the 3 lives which they ask for, is in the Satya Yuga. In the Satya Yuga you had Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. It's also known as Krita Yuga. And then Ravana and Kumbhakarna in the Treta Yuga, and Shishupala and Dantavakra in the Dwapara Yuga. Now, how did this happen? Once, now Yudhishtira's Rajasuya Yagya is over and he is being crowned as the emperor. All the stalwarts of the universe are called over there, and they all decide who should be the, as we call, the chief guest. Everyone says Lord Krishna, and there Shishupala starts mocking. And as we know that story where he is Krishna's aunt's son, he had told her aunt, okay, I know what he's doing is wrong, but she says, please see that you take care of him. He says, okay, 108, up to 108 wrongdoings of his I'll tolerate, but after that I'll have to kill him. 108, so the aunt says, okay, fine, that much is good enough, so that he will never be able to reach 108 in his life. So there, when everybody was talking about Lord Krishna as the chief guest in that coronation, he starts mocking at Lord Krishna. And Krishna was counting. And at that point, when 108th misdeed happened of Shishupala, it so happened that Krishna sent his sudarshana chakra and chopped his head off. Now the important part is, as soon as that head fell down, now they saw that a light emerged from that head and it merged at the feet of Lord Krishna. Now this Vedavyasa was able to see, Narada Muni was able to see, and Yudhishtira also saw this. Yudhishtira immediately comes to Narada and asks him, I am amazed, what is this? This Shishupala's spirit is becoming one with the Lord. And people who have been bhaktas of the Lord, who have thought of nothing but the holy feet of the Lord, they find it so difficult to reach. But this man, a scoundrel, Shishupala, this great sinner who has always hated Krishna, now how did this happen? So then Narada said, Yudhishthira, yours is a very pertinent question. You want to know why a man who is been defaming Krishna has not been punished? Let me tell you something which you do not know. And then he tells, this is very important for us. Be it insult, be it praise, be it honor, be it dishonor, whatever it is. But you know, all the time the Shishupala was thinking of Lord Krishna. And the Lord says, that's all what I want. I want somebody who is constantly thinking about me. For me, honor, dishonor, praise, insult, good, bad, it doesn't matter. Why? Because he is beyond Maya. So all these Qualities what we are talking is in Maya, in that Triguna. So once you are out of that Triguna, this doesn't matter. But he knows one thing for sure, that this person has been constantly thinking of me. So what is important here? Siddhanam, what we spoke, that Siddha, being established in the thought of the Lord. Whatever way, continuous, it could be bhakti, it could be sneha, friendship, it could be dasya bhava, servantship, anything it could be. Or it could be like a parent, matra bhava, pitru bhava, dasya bhava, seva bhava, maitra bhava. Or it could be even as a lover. You take Lord in whatever way you want, but keep your mind constantly on that Lord. That helps you to get established, because he says, I don't mind. And this is known as Sambhrama Yoga actually. This is a kind of a yoga, and which has a name also, it is known as a Sambhrama Yoga, where they are constantly thinking of the Lord. So for a Lord, these differences are not at all into account. What needs is we need to keep thinking of Him. So many a times we say, I have not had my bath. And I have what you call, somebody is born in the family. So now for that many number of days, I am not supposed to do all this. Or somebody is dead. Any time, anyhow, any manner. You may be bathing, you may be doing anything else. Whatever activity you are doing, be established in that thought. This is a great eye-opener for us. Don't go by what it is. That is okay. Initially it is fine. But you can think of the Lord whenever and in whatever way you want. Be established in Him. Shri Krishna Arpanamastu. Idam Namavali. Okay, now we take the Shri Vishnu Sahasranama Japa. जीवो विनीता साक्षी मुकुंदो मित विक्रमः अम्भो निधिरनन्तात्मा महोदधिशयोऽन्तकः. Viniyita Sakshi, the witness of modesty. He is the one consciousness that illuminates the very sense of humility in his devotee's heart. It can also mean that as pure consciousness, he is one without a second, and therefore from his state of universal oneness, he sees nothing other than himself everywhere. In this absolute nature, he does not see the world of finitude, constituted of the ego and its deluded nature. See, the Lord does not see all this. He only sees where your mind is. Is it on the world, or is it on Him? That's all. Shri Krishna Arpanamastu. For appropriate health to take us through the journey of life. Om Namo Bhagavate Mahasudarshanaaya Vasudevaya Dhanvantaraye Amrutagalashastaya Sarvabhaya Vinashaya Sarvaroga Nivaranaya Trailokyapataye Trailokyanidhaye Shri Mahavishnu Swarupa Shri Dhanvantari Swarupa Shri Aushadha Chakra Narayanaya Swaha. Om Namo Bhagavate Mahasudarshanaaya Vasudevaya Dhanvantaraye Amrutagalashastaya Sarvabhaya Vinashaya Sarvaroga Nivaranaya Trailokyapataye Trailokyanidhaye Shri Mahavishnu Swarupa Shri Dhanvantari Swarupa Shri 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 Aushadha Chakra Narayanaya Swaha. Om Namo Bhagavate Mahasudarshanaaya Vasudevaya Dhanvantaraye Amrutakalashahastaya Sarvabhaya Vinashaya Sarvaroga Nivaranaya Trailokyapataye Trailokyanidaya Shri Mahavishnu Swarupa Shri Dhanvantari Swarupa Shri 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 Aushadha Chakra Narayanaya Swaha. To Lord Dhanvantari, we offer our humble salutations. Seek His grace, mercy for good health and the right mindset to understand our true nature. Om Tat Sat. Let's do the Sakshee Bhava Dhyana. Please sit comfortably, erect, head, neck and spine in a straight line. Take a few deep breaths. Keep observing your breath for some time. Every function of your body is happening because of that existence, consciousness. Knowing that to be eternal and the rest all to be impermanent. Sorry. Just focus on the impermanent nature of your own Jiva Bhava. Remind yourself of the ones who were there in your life, so close to you, are now no more there. Shift your focus from this Jiva, the impermanent aspect in this creation, to the Creator, become a witness between the creator and the created. Bring your attention back to your breath. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Shri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha. O Lord the Almighty, together we offer today's Jnana Yajna at your lotus feet to seek your grace, mercy and blessings. Naham Karta, Hari Preranaya, Hari Prityartam, Shri Krishna Arpanamastu, Idam Namama, Om Tat Sat. Good evening to all of you once again. So let these deep thoughts soak in your mind and do whatever needs to be done. Be out of this jiva bhava. Know that there is some superpower which is being experienced as this awareness working on you, paving the way, and it itself wants to get out of this ignorance. It wants to get this knowledge, and it eventually wants to become one with the Supreme Reality. Thank you. Hari Om. Shri Krishna Arpanamastu.
निराधारस्वरूपोऽहम् सर्वाधारोऽहमेव च आप्तकामस्वरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः तापत्रय विनिर्मुक्तः देहत्रय विलक्षणः अवस्थात्रय साक्ष्यस्मि अहमेवाहमव्ययः दृग्दृश्यौ द्वौ पदार्थौ स्तः परस्परविलक्षणौ दृग्ब्रह्मदृश्यं मायेति सर्ववेदान्तडिण्डिमः अहं साक्षीति यो विद्यात् विविच्यैवं पुनः पुनः स एव मुक्तः स विद्वान् इति वेदान्तडिण्डिमः घटकुड्यादिकं सर्वं मृत्तिकामात्रमेव च तद्वद्ब्रह्म जगत्सर्वम् इति वेदान्तडिण्डिमः ब्रह्म सत्यं जगन्मिथ्या जीवो ब्रह्मैव नापरः अनेन वेद्यं सच्छास्त्रम् इति वेदान्तडिण्डिमः अन्तर्ज्योति बहिर्ज्योतिः प्रत्यर्ज्योतिः परात्परः ज्योतिज्योति स्वयं ज्योतिः आत्मज्योतिशिवोऽस्म्यहम् ज्योतिज्योति स्वयं ज्योतिः